A shocking news shaking the global entertainment world came so suddenly. Not only Jungkook, who was previously said to take a surprising step, now Taehyung, or better known by his stage name V, is reported to have chosen to leave BTS. A big question immediately arose. What is the fundamental reason behind this decision? And what exactly is the last message he left for ARMY? This event is not just an ordinary issue, but a major dynamic that records new history in the journey of one of the most influential music groups in the world. From the beginning, the name Taehyung has been a symbol of emotional strength, unique charisma, and artistic color that distinguishes BTS from any other group. However, within hours, the news of his departure spread widely, causing commotion and questions that are difficult to answer. Is this the end of his long journey with BTS, or instead a transition to a new phase never imagined before? Public spotlight immediately turned to Taehyung's facial expressions captured in his last moments with BTS members. His eyes looked different, as if hiding a heavy emotional burden. The smile that is usually so natural, this time seemed forced, while his gaze occasionally looked empty, as if signaling that a big decision had been made long before this news appeared. Many fans asked, was that expression a sign of farewell already planned long ago? The issue of Jungkook's departure some time ago has already caused extraordinary uproar among ARMY. But now, when Taehyung is also reported to step out, the wave of reactions becomes even bigger. Social media is full of speculations, theories, and heated debates about what is really happening behind the scenes. Why are two central figures at once reported to leave the group in such a close time? Is this purely personal choice, or is there pressure driving both to take this high-risk decision? Taehyung's last message for ARMY becomes an inevitable center of attention. Although not much detail is revealed clearly, several fragments of his statements have spread, causing diverse interpretations. In his short words, he seemed to signal that his journey with ARMY will never disappear, even though his path is now different. Is this a sign that he is really saying goodbye, or just a promise that he will return in another form? This uncertainty is what makes the situation even more tense. ARMY around the world feels as if left without certainty, forced to guess the truth behind Taehyung's emotional message. Are those words a reflection of personal sadness, or a symbol of a big strategy not yet revealed? BTS's history has always been built on the image of togetherness, unity, and unshakable determination. However, the news of Taehyung's departure seems to challenge that narrative. International music observers also begin to question, is this the beginning of the breakup of a global legend, or instead a strategic step toward a new, more surprising format? In this confusion, ARMY is faced with a big dilemma: to accept the bitter reality, or to keep hoping that this is only a temporary phase. Taehyung's tears, recorded on several occasions, become emotional evidence that is difficult to deny. He seemed no longer able to hide the inner pressure he felt. His empty gaze, faint smile, and trembling voice when greeting fans all seemed to signal that his decision was already final. However, on the other hand, many doubt the authenticity of this narrative, considering how easily video clips and statements are twisted in the digital era. Thus, the fundamental question arises: is Taehyung's last message truly authentic, or just part of a dramatic narrative deliberately created? The wave of reactions from ARMY grows bigger as this news spreads. Hundreds of thousands of comments flood the digital space, most expressing deep sadness, while others try to deny the reality that their idol will truly part from the group. Some fans even wrote hopes that this step is only a hidden promotional strategy, not a permanent decision. But is it true that an issue this big can be used as mere promotion? Or on the contrary, does the silence of the related parties signal that something more serious is happening? Undeniably, Taehyung's decision has an impact far greater than just a personal career. The entire global entertainment industry ecosystem depending on BTS's big name now faces uncertainty. Can the group survive losing two important pillars at once? Can fans accept this change without feeling the loss of the collective identity they have built together for years? Taehyung's last message for ARMY is not just a farewell word. It is a symbol of how deep the emotional bond between artist and fans is, as well as proof that even though the path may be different, that inner relationship will never truly be cut off. But is ARMY ready to accept the reality that Taehyung's presence on the BTS stage may only remain a memory? Behind all the speculations, one thing is certain: Taehyung's departure shakes the foundation of BTS. The public demands answers, but those answers never come. Silence only adds tension, as if the world is waiting for a big explosion not yet seen. How long will this mystery be left unclear? And is Taehyung's last message truly the closure of an era, or instead the opener for a new chapter yet to be imagined? Now, ARMY around the world can only wait while holding on to Taehyung's last words, trying to understand the hidden meaning behind each sentence. Tears, confusion, and a sense of loss become inseparable parts of this moment. One thing that cannot be denied: this decision has left an emotional trace so deep, not only for fans, but also for the history of global music. Is Taehyung truly leaving BTS forever? Or is this only the beginning of something bigger, something still tightly hidden? The world awaits answers that may never come quickly. However, one thing is clear: his last message for ARMY has now become part of history, an emotional record that will continue to be remembered as one of the most dramatic points in BTS's journey. The wave of commotion that exploded within the last few minutes has left many stunned and astonished. A news stating that Taehyung finally revealed the real reason why Jungkook left BTS spread with incredible speed. The question is this information truly worth believing, or merely a fabrication deliberately created to steer public opinion? Why can such a huge news emerge without strong verification, and will HYB continue to choose silence? The fact that this issue emerged from various video clips, short tweets, and long narratives on social media adds to the complexity. Did Taehyung really state that reason directly? Or are we only witnessing content manipulation designed to look convincing? Is it possible that the statement was twisted to create drama that continues to divide international public attention? In this vague situation, we are faced with a big dilemma: to believe what we see or to doubt it until concrete proof really appears. But can the evidence circulating on social media be used as a basis to conclude the truth? Or are we trapped in a narrative game deliberately constructed for certain interests? A deeper question arises: if Jungkook truly left BTS because of a big reason only known by Taehyung, why has this never been delivered through official channels? Is it because there is a force trying to cover it up? Or is it because the entire narrative is merely a collective imagination maintained to spark sensation? And why does HYB choose silence amid the flood of accusations and endless speculations? The world public is now divided. Most ARMY feel hurt, angry, and confused. They wonder whether Taehyung's confession is real or just a neatly arranged fabrication. But isn't this supposed to be a reminder for all of us not to get carried away by waves of emotions without critical analysis? Shouldn't we ask, who benefits if this narrative continues to be maintained? Are fans only being used as consumption in a bigger media game? Let's reflect. Do we believe because we want to believe, or because there is truly convincing evidence? Do we rely on logic, or merely follow the flow of emotions constantly driven by viral snippets on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube? These questions must be asked before we step further into the increasingly confusing labyrinth of rumors. Ironically, every small detail circulating seems to be used to reinforce the narrative that there is a big secret behind Jungkook's departure. But isn't it possible that all this is just fragments of a story forced to fit public expectations? Isn't it true that sensational narratives are often born not from truth, but from the desire to dominate conversations? If indeed Taehyung revealed the reason Jungkook left BTS, then the question is, why was this information not raised by credible media? Why does it only come from accounts difficult to verify? Doesn't this actually raise suspicion that we are being played by a certain agenda? Here we are challenged not to be passive consumers. We need to question the motives behind every narrative. Is this truly about the honesty of a friend, or merely a strategy to divert attention from another bigger issue? Is this about love and betrayal, or just an emotional trap deliberately set to drain ARMY's sympathy worldwide? Furthermore, we also need to ask, is HYB truly guilty for choosing silence? Or are they deliberately letting rumors grow to create a mystery that further strengthens BTS's position in global music history? Isn't silence also able to become the sharpest form of communication, leaving room for the public to interpret and speculate without limits? The statements circulating lately are so provocative that it is difficult not to get caught in the flow of emotions. But shouldn't we hold ourselves back for a moment? Shouldn't we weigh whether all this is really relevant to reality, or merely a reflection of the public's obsession with their idols' personal lives? We must be honest with ourselves. Are we seeking truth, or just seeking drama? Do we want clarification, or instead enjoy the uncertainty that keeps this issue alive? These questions are important because in the end, such commotion often places ARMY in a fragile position, plagued by information not necessarily true. Undeniably, the role of social media is so big in shaping public opinion. Twisted video snippets, cut narratives, and repackaged statements all can change the original meaning and create the illusion of truth. So, how can we ensure what we consume is really fact, not hoax? Do we have the mechanism to resist manipulation, or are we easily controlled by algorithms constantly pushing sensational content in front of our eyes? Let us reflect again. Is there really a big reason revealed by Taehyung, or are we merely victims of speculation games? Will HYB remain silent forever, or are they waiting for the right time to reveal something more shocking? These questions must stay alive in our minds, so we are not easily dragged by the flow of lies perhaps carefully maintained. In the end, this issue is not only about Jungkook, Taehyung, or HYB. It is about how the public consumes information, how media manipulates reality, and how collective emotions can be directed for certain interests. Isn't this supposed to be a harsh reminder that not everything we read, watch, or hear is truth? So, allow me to pose the final question to you, the reader as well as the witness of this controversy. Do you truly believe that Taehyung has revealed the real reason Jungkook left BTS? Or do you realize that maybe we are all being trapped in an endless illusion game?